What's good, YouTube? I know you guys have heard of Southern fried cabbage before, but I promise you haven't had it this way. Seafood lovers, you're gonna love this one with the shrimp edition. Let me show you guys exactly how to make it. All right. Welcome back. Let me take you guys through a quick run through of all the items we're gonna be using. I got 2 heads of cabbage. I'm gonna be using some Cajun andouille smoked sausage, but if you don't want to use pork, you can go ahead and use the turkey smoked sausage option. Next, we got about a half a pack of bacon. You can use whatever bacon is your favorite. I don't really have a preference. Some 1620 shrimps or whatever large shrimp you can find. We're going to be using this yellow onion. I'm slicing mine up right now just for a little bit of mise en place and some red and yellow bell peppers. Get that all into a bowl after you slice it just to mix them up. Okay, so next, the fun part, the cabbage. So I'm going to cut off the stem, lay it on its bottom, and then split it in half. I'm going to take the core out because this has no flavor. It's going to be bitter and it's going to be too tough to eat. Pretty simple process. As long as you got a sharp knife, you'll be able to get that core out pretty easily. You can use your hands and just pull it all out just like that. Once you get the core out, now it's time to chop this up. I usually want this chopped up into about 1 inch pieces. Don't worry if the cabbage is a little dirty. We're going to wash it anyway. And if there's some pieces that just look a little funny to you, go ahead and toss those out. But don't waste the whole cabbage just because a few pieces looked a little funky, all right? So I'm just chopping this up. I'm not shredding it. I prefer it to be chopped up. The thicker pieces is going to allow for more body, more crunchiness because I'm not going to cook it too long. All right, so give that cabbage a good rinse, sit it to the side while we go ahead and chop up some bacon. Quick pro tip, a sharp knife is definitely going to help, but if you let the bacon sit in the freezer for about 30 minutes to an hour before you chop it up, it'll be a lot easier to slice like this. Now for the sausage, one of the main events. I'm going to slice that in half, and then I'm going to cut this on a bias. I'm trying to cut about 1/4 to a 1/2 inch thick slices right now. You can go thicker if you want to, but this just works perfectly for me because it almost mirrors the size of the shrimp. And here we go. The main event, the shrimp. So I'm going to season it with some all-purpose and some lemon bay. If you don't have any other lemon bay, don't worry. You can use lemon pepper, Old Bay season, a little bit of smoked paprika. Season it well. Coat it with a little bit of olive oil just to help the seasonings disperse and then just give it some love. For about a pound of shrimp, I use just over a teaspoon of each seasoning. Now, in a large skillet over medium-high heat, you actually want the skillet to be cold when you put it in, then turn the heat up. I added my bacon and sausage. Allow that to cook down to allow a lot of that fat to render out. So you're going to cook this for about 10 to 12 minutes. That's going to give you enough time to allow all the fat to render out from the bacon and the sausage. It may seem long, but we really want that fat to render out as much as possible because the fat is what we're going to use to cook the shrimp in, as well as the peppers, onions, and cabbage. Once you get a good sear like this on the sausage and the bacon's about cooked through, just go ahead and take it out and set it to the side. With a little bit of that bacon fat, we're just going to add the shrimp directly into the skillet over medium-high heat and cook the shrimp for about 1 minute on each side. Now, keep in mind, I'm really out here trying to talk proper so that you guys can understand the steps. But if you guys know what you're doing in the kitchen, don't overcook the shrimp. Cook it for about a minute on each side. You know what the color is going to look like. It's going to start to run up from the bottom. Once fully cooked, take those out and set those aside as well. Now, in the same skillet, you want to reduce your heat down to medium, add about a tablespoon of butter, and your peppers and onions. Saute these for about 4 to 5 minutes. You're really just looking for the onions to get a slightly translucent and those peppers to just soften up just a little bit. They're also going to soak up a lot of that flavor from the shrimp and the sausage. And now it's time to go and add skillet with the cabbage that we chopped up and rinsed off. Now, just like any other green that you guys might be familiar with, like spinach, collard greens, and stuff like that, you can put a lot in a pan and it's actually going to wilt down. So go ahead and put a lid on it. Allow this cook for about 10 minutes. Take the lid off. It's going to have softened up a little bit. And now you can give that a good little mix. As you saw, I didn't season it yet because I really wanted to allow those flavors to develop. Pick up all the seasoning from the meats that we had placed in the pan before. Give it a little taste. And now you can decide exactly how much seasoning you want to add. So I'm going to go in here with some all-purpose seasoning. Next, you want to add some Tony's Creole or whatever Cajun or Creole season is your favorite. And then finish it all with some freshly cracked black pepper. Shout out to Kimmy for the salt and pepper grinders all day. Now go ahead and get everything mixed to combine. But here's the kicker. Here's the good part. The fact that you seasoned it at this step, you can actually taste as you go. You cooked your meat first, so you don't have to worry about anything being raw, no cross contamination or anything like that. About another 5 minutes, and then you want to go ahead and add the sausage and bacon. Give that a little mix just to, get everything evenly distributed in the pan. And next, you want to go in there with your shrimp as well. Now, I'm actually allergic to shrimp. I'm allergic to all shellfish, but this thing was smelling so good. I promise. Only almost dipped my fork in here like 3 or 4 times and took a bite, but I had to stop myself. But yeah, give that a good mix. Check for seasoning, and then I put a lid on for another 2 to 3 minutes just to let everything pick up that shrimp flavor and let everything come together. Take it off and look at that. And now look, I don't like to make promises, but one thing I can tell you that in every single bite that you're gonna take from this dish, you're gonna have plenty of flavor. You're gonna have either shrimp, sausage, peppers, a little bit of all three. I want you guys to try this one out. Let me know when you do. Like, comment, and subscribe, and it's a wrap. Let's go.